So I realized that I have never in the history of this channel done a top 10 spring designers list. I know, it's almost blasphemy. Everybody's getting out their top 10 designers. I guess I just didn't do it last spring, so I guess it's time to do one. So if you're curious to know what my top 10 designer fragrances for spring are, then stay tuned. Cue that intro. What's going on, my beautiful fragrance family, and welcome back to My2Scents. I hope each and every one of you are doing frickin' phenomenal day. My name is Brian, and this is the channel all about helping boost your confidence through the art of fragrance and helping you become a lasting scent memory. Yeah, everybody's getting their top 10 designer lists out. I know I've got my cheapies list out. I got my niche list out. Now it's time for me to do my designers. I don't do a whole lot with designers, though I probably should do more. I probably should. There's some fantastic designer fragrances out there, but you know me, I like to reach for the unique fragrances. I like to help set you apart. And so these 10 fragrances, though some of them you've definitely heard of, at least I hope you've heard of, and if you haven't, what kind of rock have you been hiding under? But before we get into my list, I want to know what your top 10 designer fragrances are, or top 5, or top 25. It don't matter. You know what to do. Just drop me a comment down below. But I think I got a pretty darn good lineup if I don't say so myself. So let's find out what those are in today's Whiffs and Sniffs. Also, before we get into this list, I know that I just, did my whole spiel and talking and everything. Man, I think I'm going to cut my hair. What do you think? Raise your hands. I can't see your hands. Should I keep it long? Should I cut it short? You know what to do. Just leave me a comment. All right, so we're going to start this list off with this bad boy right here. 2021 release, knocked Profondo off my list because Profondo would have been on here, at least last year's list. This year, I'm going with Profondo Lights. I really like Profondo Lights. Now, I do have the new Eau de Parfum coming, and we'll see if the new Eau de Parfum knocks this one off. I'm gonna say probably not, but we'll see. Time will tell. Acqua di Gio Profondo Lights, I think, is a great release. It starts out with this really fresh mandarin, and you also get some C notes in there. So you get this nice aquatic backbone to it, but also some nice green qualities like cardamom, so you're getting some spiciness, a little bit of a green facet from the cardamom. I believe there's also some cypress in here, some rosemary, some fir balsam, so you're getting some nice, green quality sitting in the background. But I love the way that this dries down with some nice woods and musks. I think this is a great fragrance. I think it was a really good release because honestly, you still get some of that Acqua di Gio DNA, but it's not as much. It's not as, sharp as Profondo. It's not as loaded down with ambroxan like Profondo is, or I think it's Cologne that, is in Profondo. I would say this is a little less headache inducing if you're a little sensitive to like ambroxan, ICO Super. I really enjoy what Alberto Morias did with this. It still has that nice aquatic quality to it, but it has a really nice woody base. I think it's super solid for the spring because if you live in cooler climates, it could work, and if you live in warmer climates, it could also work. I get good longevity with this, between 6 to 7 hours, maybe about the 8-hour mark if I spray heavily. And it also made my top 10 best designers of 2021, and I still agree. I still think this is a fantastic release. So first up, Acqua di Gio Profondo Lights. Where am I gonna go next? I think I'm gonna go with a ridiculous bottle but fantastic juice. I'm gonna go with Moschino Toy Boy Rose. Now, you have to be a fan of rose, but I love this fragrance. Now, you get a little bit of citrus and you get some pear up top. You also get some pink pepper, so it's adding like a little bit of spice, but not really spice. It's adding more of like a fruity sweetness to it. And the big spice that you're really gonna get, I think, is cloves. But of course, you're gonna get that rose, and I love the rose in this. It's earthy, it's got a little bit of dirtiness to it, it's got a little bit of sweetness to it, and you get that aromatic florality from it. You're also gonna get some cashmere, which is gonna add like a silky woodiness to this. I believe there's also some sandalwood to add to that. Now, Moschino Toy Boy, I get really good longevity. Now, I get between that 8 and 10 hour mark, depending on how heavily I spray, and if I do spray on my clothes. I get really good projection out of this within the first 2 to 3 hours. I think this is just a fantastic release. And I think it leans more unisex. If you're a fan of rose fragrances and you're looking for a really good long-lasting rose that it could be worn in pretty much any occasion, you could wear it formally, you could wear it to the office, you could wear it on dates, you could wear it As a signature scent if you wanted to. Moschino Toy Boy is definitely one you need to check out. I think it would be good in cooler climates. I think it'd be good in warmer climates. I actually think it would be pretty decent in really humid climates. I think it's fresh enough. I think it's got a nice greenness to it. And I think it has enough aromatic qualities, a nice woodiness to be great for the spring. So next up, Moschino Toy Boy. This next one, I was going to put H24 in here from Hermes, but I decided I'm going back to Jean-Claude Ellena's, one of his most beautiful creations, and that's going to be Terre d'Hermes. And this is the Eau de Toilette. Nothing special, nothing fancy, just the Eau de Toilette. I'm wearing it today. I think it is an awesome fragrance. I love the way that the orange and the pepper are done in this, because you get this really nice, like earthy and citrusy orange that is just sprinkled with black pepper. And then you fall into this really nice vetiver. You get this really nice benzoin, so you're getting this nice sweetness that's adding to the spiciness and earthiness of the vetiver. You get some nice woods. There's some nice underlying musks in here as well to help give it some bounce, lift off your skin. I think Terre d'Hermes is a masterpiece, honestly. Jean-Claude Ellena took vetiver and orange and black pepper and created exactly what he was trying to create. He was trying to create a different take on an orange and vetiver fragrance. He was trying to create this dirty orange, to say as if the orange grew out of the ground, so it's nice and dirty, instead of it growing on a tree. Kind of a cool concept, and Terre d'Hermes, I think, is a great representation of that. I get good longevity out of this, between 6 and 8 hours, again, depending whether or not I spray it on my clothes, and you know that I do. Terre d'Hermes, I think, is a fantastic release, and I think it will always go down in the history books as one of the best coming out of the house of Hermes. Great for spring, be great in cooler climates. Like today, I think it's only supposed to hit like the, high 50s, low 60s. It's cooler, there's a nice chill in the air, and this is a great one for climates like that. Though, it also will do well in the warmer climates. I just wouldn't spray too heavy if it's nice and humid. Might become a little cloying. Just throwing it out there, but Terre d'Hermes had to make this list. With about 5 or 6 sprays, I get good projection within the first couple hours. So definitely check out, if you haven't yet. I mean, I don't know what rock you've been hiding under, but check out Terre d'Hermes. So Dior Sauvage could definitely be in here. I think Dior Sauvage is a great fragrance. Now, do I wear it often? No. Does everybody wear it? Yes. But to each their own. If you love it, then rock it. The fragrance I would suggest over that, and the one I enjoy wearing more than that, comes from the house of Prada, and it's Luna Rossa Carbon. Now, Prada Luna Rossa Carbon, it definitely has a lot of similarities to Sauvage, though there are some differences, and quite a few differences. This is quite a bit more metallic, so you're gonna get these like nice metallic notes in there, mixed in with this nice, clean, and sweet lavender. You also get some cold carbon, which adds a nice mineral quality to it. But there's also a buttload of ambroxan, and there's also some black pepper, just like Sauvage. So you're getting that nice spiciness. You're also getting that nice velvety, silky, ambroxan, woody quality that's going to give it some lasting power. It's going to give it some oomph. It's going to help it pop off your skin. Now, the reason I picked this one over Sauvage is I actually enjoy the metallic qualities to it. I enjoy metallic notes. I enjoy mineral notes. I enjoy those types of fragrances, hence why I also like H24. I know a lot of people out there don't enjoy that, but I really love Prada Luna Rossa Carbon for that. It's taking that Sauvage kind of type of DNA and just, adding its own little unique twist to it. Now, again, you can go with Sauvage, you can go with fragrances along those lines, you could go with Bleu de Chanel, but for me, it's Prada Luna Rossa Carbon. I get good longevity between that 6 and 8 hour mark. It usually falls more in that 7 hour, but that's okay. Again, I spray it on my clothes. I spray a little bit heavier sometimes, but this is great pretty much all year round. You can wear this, even though it would be great in the spring. Honestly, you could wear this whenever you want. Prada Luna Rossa Carbon, fantastic fragrance in my opinion. I get really good projection within the first 2.5 hours, and then it sits closer to the skin, but you do have a nice sillage throughout the day. So, next up on the list, Prada Luna Rossa Carbon. Next up on my list comes from the house of Tom Ford, and this is Beau de Jour. I mean, this one had to be on here. Tons of lavender. You have lavender extract, you also have some mint, there's some rosemary, of course, oak moss, and I get this like ambery vanilla quality to it. Even though I don't believe the notes talk about or say that there's any vanilla in this. I do believe that there is this really nice vanillic ambery accord because it's very creamy. It has a nice sweetness, and that mixed in with the lavender just creates this beautiful and opulent creamy experience. I love Beau de Jour. Again, one that you could wear all year round. I get good longevity out of this between that 7 and 8 hour mark, depending again whether or not I spray on my clothes, and you already know the answer to that. I get really good projection out of it for the first couple hours. Then it sits closer to my skin, but I do get a nice sillage throughout the day. Now, this is going to be a little bit more expensive for your designers, all right? So I think Beau de Jour, can't really remember. I think it's 145 or maybe 165 for a 50 ml at full retail, and I think somewhere close to $200 for 100 ml, but you can find these at discounters, so keep an eye out for them. But next up on my list, Beau de Jour. So this next one, I gotta ask you, will you be my hero, baby? Will you? Well, if you won't, that's okay, because I've got Halloween Man Hero. This next up on my list. All right, so you know what? This surprised the crap out of me. This is a tried and true aquatic blue fragrance. Tried and true. It's really good. For those of you who like Bleu de Chanel or are thinking about maybe getting Bleu de Chanel, not saying that this is a knockoff of Bleu de Chanel. It might be, but if that's what they were going for, they failed because they created a much different fragrance with a lot of the same similarities. Now you have this really nice citrus up top, like grapefruit and lemon, and you get a lot of it. You're also gonna get some nice aquatic notes, and those aquatic notes are blended very well with a nice ginger, so you get a nice spicy quality to it. And then this has an interesting note. What is it called? Amber Extreme, that's right. Amber Extreme in this. Amber Extreme. So what I can gather, what Amber Extreme is it's just an amplified amber accord. So you're getting some nice sweetness, some nice dry qualities, and some nice woodiness as well from that amber accord. Because this does have a nice woody base, all right? Once it starts drying down, it's aquatic. It's got a little bit of greenness to it, but not a whole lot. It has a nice aromatic quality. You have a nice citrus to it. You have a nice woody base. You have a nice sweetness flowing through it. And I think it would be great in the spring and the summer. I get about 6 to 7 hours of longevity. Of course, again, yes, I spray on my clothes, and I get that extra hour of longevity. Maybe a little bit longer than an hour. Projection is really good within the first couple hours. Then it sits a little bit closer to your skin. But because of that Amber Extreme, it actually creates a nice sillage. You might become a little nose blind to it. I do. And that usually happens when there's synthetic materials such as Ambroxan, ICO Super, things along those lines. That really I just go nose blind to. But that's all right because everybody else can smell me. And that's what we're shooting for. Right, fellas? So Halloween Man Hero is next up on my list. Definitely check it out because it pops up at discounters all the frickin' time and it's stupid stinking cheap. And it smells stupid stinking good. So check it out. Halloween Man Hero. Next one comes from the house of Davidoff, and this one is Cool Water Intense. Now, you could go with the Cool Water Parfum. I think that's very bubblegummy sweet, but you know, if you like Invictus Acqua, those very bubblegummy type of fragrances, then you'd probably really like the Parfum more than you'd like this. But I enjoy this one because this thing is a stinking beast. This one, though, has a little bit of that bubblegumminess. I really like what this fragrance does. Now, you got some coconut in here, you got some mandarin orange, and some amber. Now, I know there's more to it than that. I think this also has a lot of ICO Super in it. You're going to get some Ambroxan. But I really like the opening because you get that nice mandarin. There's also a subtle spiciness laying in the background. Not sure exactly where that's coming from. Could be some ginger or possibly some pink pepper as well. That coconut, you can definitely smell it. It's got that nice tropical vibe to it. And this would be a fantastic one if you live in those warmer climates. I get great longevity out of this. Between 8 and 10 hours. Really good projection within the first 3 hours. Then it sits a little closer to the skin, but you do have a nice sillage to it. Now this is definitely going to be packed with a lot of synthetic materials. All right, that's where you're getting your longevity, your lasting power. So if you are not keen on synthetics, this might not be for you. But this is stupid cheap and this is beast mode. And I think it would be great for the spring. So definitely check out Cool Water Intense. Next comes from the house of Hugo Boss, and this is Boss Bottled Oud Aromatic. All right, so I am enjoying this Boss Bottled Oud line. All right, I haven't tried Oud Saffron, but I do have Boss Bottled Oud, and I love that fragrance. And I think a lot of people in the spring would probably think about utilizing Boss Bottled, the original, but I'm gonna go with Boss Bottled Oud Aromatic. And here's why. I love the aromatic qualities of this. You have orange blossom, then you have this really nice resinous myrrh, and you have oud. And the oud is adding a really nice woody quality to it, a nice underlying sweetness and a little bit of funk to it, but funk in a good way. That myrrh is also adding this really nice resinous quality. It's blending in with that oud and just creating this really nice base for a beautiful orange blossom to sit on top of. And the orange blossom adds a really nice, fresh, aromatic, soapy quality to it. This thing is really good. And for the price that you can find these Boss Bottled Ouds, I think they're totally worth it. I can't speak for Saffron. That's the next up on my list, but Aromatic and Boss Bottled Oud are both awesome. They're just awesome fragrances. I was not expecting to enjoy this fragrance as much as I do. Now you have to enjoy oud. All right, now this is going to be a synthetic oud. This is not going to be a natural smelling oud, but even though it's synthetic, it's blended really well, and it's a nice synthetic oud. It's got a little bit of an animalic quality. It's got a little bit of that like rubberiness to it, but that fades away and allows that myrrh to really take hold. That orange blossom just adds that freshness to it. So this would be a great one for those cooler spring days. Or also, if you want to wear it in the warmer spring days, just go a little bit lighter on the trigger. Again, I get really good longevity out of this. Between 7 and 8 hours of longevity. Projection is good within the first 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and then it sits closer to the skin. But again, it's one of those fragrances that when the wind catches you, it's going to leave a nice scent trail. You can find these at discounters all the time. I got mine at fragrancebuy.ca. So if you're looking for something different, something unique, you like oud, you like fresh oud fragrances, then definitely check out Boss Bottled Oud Aromatic. Montblanc, I am your Starwalker. Just kidding. All right, so the next one up is going to be Montblanc Starwalker. I love this fragrance. Starwalker is just, it's almost iconic to the fragrance community. I know there's a lot of us out there that have talked about this so much till we're like blue in the face. I know Tyler at Simply Fragrances loves this fragrance just as much as I do. And I think it is a great cheapie, a designer cheapie. Pops up at discounters, pops up at rack stores all the stinking time. Starwalker is very, very cheap. It is not the longest lasting fragrance, but man, it is just fresh, it's green, and it's interesting. You get this interesting bamboo note, and that bamboo almost plays as if it's like grassy, like hay. And then you get some nice citruses. You get some nice musks. You get a really nice spicy and juicy ginger in here as well, and some nice woods as it dries down. But man, Starwalker is great. It's unique, it's fresh, it's green, it's clean, and it's just a beautiful fragrance. I can totally understand why so many of us fragrance reviewers have talked about Starwalker so much. I know it's been said that this has been discontinued, but it doesn't matter. It's still popping up at rack stores. I'm sure it is, even though I haven't been to a rack store since, well, last year. It's one of those that is just a dumb reach. It's a casual fragrance, though you could wear it, a little bit more suited up. I wouldn't wear this formally, but this is just a grab and go, a dumb reach. It's just an easy to wear type of fragrance. So again, projection, not great. First hour, you get pretty good projection. Throughout the day, it's going to just be a skin scent, just going to be honest with you. But I get about 4 to 6 hours of longevity, again, depending on how much I spray and where and how I spray it. But Montblanc Starwalker, well, it would have made last year's spring list. It will probably make next year's spring list because it's one of my favorites to wear in the spring. So next up, Montblanc Starwalker. Last but not least on my list, again, people are saying that this is discontinued, but I see it everywhere. I see it at my local department store. I see it at my local Walmart. Actually, both my local Walmarts. And it comes from the house of Azzaro. And this one is Chrome Pure. Now, Chrome Pure, I just really like what this fragrance does. It has a really nice mate note in it, too. And I really enjoy the green herbal qualities of mate. Now, it also has a nice, fresh, soapy cleanliness to it. You also get some mandarin orange. You get some really nice, clean musks. I mean, this fragrance is clean, it's green, and I think it's just a really well put together chrome. Now, it has some of that chrome DNA from the original, which is also an icon, also could be in this list. That's a fantastic fragrance. Why didn't I put that in this list? Probably because I enjoy this one more. Just to be honest with you. And I don't always tend to enjoy the flankers more than I like the originals, but this one I do. It's pure, it's clean, it's fresh. It's got some nice bitter herbal notes to it. Also has a nice watery quality to it, probably coming from some violet leaf or just some watery notes. And then it dries down nice and woody and musky. Fantastic fragrance. I get decent longevity out of this, between 5 and 6 hours. Projection is not superb. It sits closer to the skin. It's more one of those kind of just intimate fragrances. You know, when she gets close to you, she's going to be like, oh, damn, you smell really good. You smell really nice and clean. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. It's because I'm wearing Chrome Pure. I like this fragrance. I know some of you out there are probably going to be like, oh, well, Chrome Pure. Well, this is my list. And again, I'd love to know what your fragrances are, what your designer spring fragrances are that you're looking forward to rocking this spring. But for me, Chrome Pure had to make this list. So if you go to your local Walmart, if you're looking curious about this, I think this is like $30 for a 50 ml. Could be $30 for a 30 ml like this, but I'm pretty sure it's $30 for a 50 ml, and then it goes up from there. But definitely give it a whirl. Also check your rack stores, because that's where I got this one for like $10, $9.99 for this little 30 ml. In my opinion, 1000% worth a whiff and sniff. If you like the Azzaro Chrome line, then definitely check this one out. Chrome Pure. All right, there it is, guys. I finally did it. I did my top 10 spring designer fragrances. Holy moly. Setting milestones left and right. But that's it, guys. Let me know what your designer spring fragrances are that you look forward to rocking this year. And also, let me know if there's any, fragrances that you'd like to see on this channel. Any fragrances you'd like to see me review. Because this channel is all about you guys. It ain't just about me. It's about us. We're a family. That's it, guys. That is it for me. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. If you enjoyed today's episode, then do me a favor and like, comment, share, and subscribe. And always remember, you are stinking beautiful. And until next time, happy scent trip.